Okay, everybody, you snooze, you lose on this one. We're going to keep things moving along. We're all busy, so I want to introduce myself. My name is Leanne Albert. I am the Director of Consulting Services at Whiter Image Dental. I've been a business coach for quite a long time now, over 20 years, and I've worked with business owners in many different industries. But I find that most of the business practices and ways to build your business, they kind of translate over industry lines on many cases. But this presentation today is going to be specific for you in how to grow your practice right now. I'm going to keep you guys on mute. If you have any questions, I feel free to keep notes, and I will open the mics up at the end of the program so that we can have a little one-on-one coaching or group coaching as necessary. The first thing I want to do is just make sure that we're thinking about what's going on in your practice. What's going on in your environment right now? Do you have a plan for success? Do you have a strategy in place to get what you want? How much revenue you want every month? What is your plan for the year? Are you maintaining the monthly revenues that you've been doing over the last few years? Is it at least the same as it's been? Have you seen a decrease in patient regularity? I hear quite often that, yes, we have lots of patients, but they're not coming in as often as that 6 months checkup anymore. People are putting it off a few extra months or even a whole year because of the economy. Are you adding to your monthly revenue? Is all of the effort that you're putting in day after day increasing your business? Are you looking to expand your practice? Are you on track to retire? So how do you get new patients? For many of you, you've told me that mostly it's word of mouth. A lot of dentists have been in practice for years and years, and I talk to a lot of dentists who are in the practice that their father started. So word of mouth is very significant in dentistry, and this is something I hear very often. Many of you have a website. Many of you do print advertising, sometimes in a newspaper, sometimes maybe in a local magazine. Often dentists at this time have Facebook pages, which is a great way to communicate to your patients and their friends. And many of you will also do direct mail. I definitely talk to dentists who do none of these things and kind of rely on word of mouth and their current patient base. But hopefully you've got one or two of these things in your arsenal that you already are doing to increase and maintain your business. So what do you know about marketing? I'm not sure. I didn't go to dentistry school, so I'm not exactly sure how many classes that you take to learn about building a business or running a business or marketing in general. But I know in working with business owners over the years, this is something that everybody wants to know about. Everybody wants to know about how to market their business well. So we kind of take a few avenues to do that. We might read books, go to seminars. There's lots of marketing seminars out there. And, you can talk to local business owners, talk to other people who are dealing with how to market their business, not even just dentists. But the problem I find with business owners and dentists all over the country is that how do you translate all that information you just read in that book or heard from this very dynamic speaker? How do you translate that all into your environment? What does that look like in your office with your people in your neighborhood? Here's some of the dental marketing strategies that I see on a pretty regular basis. Maybe your print ad has a picture of the dentist. And that's going to work well, especially if you're a handsome dentist. But hopefully you're a friendly looking dentist. Sometimes the ad is all about the specialties that your office provides. Sometimes there's a map of how to find you. And often there's a new patient offer so that people who are new in the area can get excited about coming in to see you or having a reason to come and see you. But there's very rarely a call to action in that marketing. And a call to action is something that inspires that reader of your ad to actually get up out of their house or get on the phone and find you and see what you have to offer. So how can you grow your practice right now? Number one we're going to talk about today is sell something that people want. And I'm going to bring these bullets out into detail a little bit in just a second. Use your patients to sell your services. Again, I heard about word of mouth often from dentists. We'll talk about that a little more in detail. Do good in your community. Know your neighbors. And be bold with your brand. So sell something people want. I know for me personally, going to the dentist is quite an ordeal. It's very irrational. I'm a grown, competent, confident woman, but I am terrified of going to the dentist. People have to actually drive me to the dentist because I will be halfway to the office, turn around, and drive myself home unless somebody drops me off there. I'm pretty sure I'm not alone in that fear. And many of you have done great things in your practice to help people like me, watching TV, while your appointments are going on. I know a dentist does paraffin wax on your hands while you sit there. Lots of nice music. And my favorite, the nitrous oxide, that's my favorite for sure. But new patients are going to seek you out because they've changed insurance. Maybe they're new in the area and they need a new dentist. Or people will seek you out because they have pain in their mouth. But what else can make a patient seek you out? How about getting the attention of people who aren't just new in the area and who aren't just in pain? Although I know you guys like those patients because they make you lots of money. What we have found regular is whitening can help people get up out of their house and find you. Here's the thing, the perceived value of whitening from a dentist to the consumer is anywhere from $200 to $500. And if I ask everyone that I meet today, do they want whiter teeth? Every one of them will say yes to me. But do they want to spend that $200, $300, $400, $500? That's the question. So according to the Academy of Cosmetic Dentistry, almost all Americans believe that a smile is an important social asset. 96% of adults believe an attractive smile makes a person more appealing to members of the opposite sex. And 3/4 of adults feel an unattractive smile can hurt a person's chances for career success. Now, in the business and sales world, we know that the reason people buy things is because of an emotional reason. We buy a new pair of jeans because we like how we look in them. We buy a new car because we like how it makes us feel. And according to this study, having a great smile is a very emotional attachment. When people are asked, what is the first thing you notice in a person's smile? The most common responses are straightness and whiteness and color of teeth. When people are asked, what types of things do you consider make a smile unattractive? Number 1, discolored, yellow, or stained teeth. And when people are asked, what would you like most to improve about your smile? Almost to a person, it's whiter and brighter teeth. So this is what people want. People want whiter smiles. So are you capturing all of the revenue available from whitening in your office? Maybe you don't do whitening at all. Some of you have a few different levels of whitening options in your office. We have in-office whitening where I can go in today and leave right away with white teeth. That's obviously the most expensive option. Many of you are doing custom trays for your patients. Doesn't take too much of your time. Can be done by your assistants. And whitening gel is going home, and in a couple of weeks, I'll have whiter teeth. But your people are wanting, your patients are wanting whitening. And maybe your patients don't have that extra $200 to $500 to whiten their teeth. So you know what they're doing? They're going to CVS and Walmart, and they're buying white strips and special toothpaste to do everything they can to whiten their smile. Because, as I said, everyone that you meet on the streets will tell you they do want whiter teeth. But here's the thing. You're the expert on their teeth, and they know that. So they're going to trust you the most with any options that you have for whitening. So do you have something to sell them in your office that maybe isn't as high of a price point as in-office treatments or custom trays? Do you have something to capture that market share that all your patients are going to Walmart and CVS for? And are you using whitening as a value proposition to increase your new patient traffic? If everybody wants to have a whiter smile, it would seem that it would be a very exciting incentive, especially if that consumer, as I said, that has a perceived value of whitening from a dentist is $200 to $300. Are you using that excitement around whitening to increase your new patient traffic? The second thing is to use your patients to sell your services. And a lot of you are doing this already because, as I said, almost everybody tells me word of mouth is definitely how they get a lot of new patients. The thing is, do you actually have a strategy in place to make sure people are talking about you? Are you being intentional about requesting referrals? Do you give any incentives for patients who refer you? And how are you communicating that you want a referral? Are you asking? Is it in your office anywhere that you would appreciate your very happy, satisfied, regular patient tell someone else about who you are? One of the simplest ways that you can do this, quite frankly, without buying any product from Whiter Image, is to have a nice little frame sign right on your checkout desk. And on there, you can say something as simple as, "Your smile and referral is our greatest compliment. Thank you for telling your friends and family about us." So what's a kind of marketing solution to help your patients sell your services? I just helped a dentist do a promotion called White Smile for You and a Friend in June. The premise of this program was basically for the patient to book a cleaning and also refer a friend who is not a current patient. And both of those people would receive free whitening. Of course, the new patient friend is going to do what a lot of dentists do for new patients and give them an exam and x-rays, possibly for free. Your average cleaning appointment, if I talk to dentists across the country, is around $200 in revenue. And as I've heard from dentists across the country, a new patient typically represents about $500 in new revenue. The way that you put this program together is to go ahead and reach out to all your current patients. And many of you have different ways to do this. But when you reach out to your current patient base, you can expect a similar response as direct mail. And direct mail will give you 2 to 3% response on average. But for the purpose of this exercise, I'm going to say that only 1% of your patients respond to this particular promotion. Now, if you have 3,000 patients in your database, and as I talk to many of you, that's a pretty fair number for most offices, and 1% of those people respond, that's 30 patients who respond. Now, 30 of those patients are your patients, and they're going to do a cleaning appointment, because it's much better to whiten your teeth after your teeth have been cleaned. So at $200 average in revenue, that's going to bring new revenue into your office, or maybe revenue that you wouldn't have seen for a few more months, because as we mentioned before, patients are slowing down in their regularity of coming to see you. So now you've instigated 30 people to come in for a cleaning, and that's going to drive about $6,000 in revenue for you. But remember, the promotion includes them bringing a friend, not to that exact appointment necessarily, but referring a new person to come to your office. That's 30 new patients that you would not have had unless you asked those 30 current patients and gave them an incentive to do so. 30 new patients at an average of $500 in revenue each turns into $15,000. Now, the cool thing is, Whiter Image has a very easy promotional item which helps whiten teeth, and it's a fairly disposable item. It's a take-home kit. It's a home edition kit. And it's not the most effective, or efficient, I should say, way for people to whiten their teeth, but there is no chair time involved. The same 4 syringes that you would give to a patient in their custom trays are included in this kit, but it's a silicone mouthpiece. So it's effective, but probably not the most convenient. But it is free for all of those 60 patients, and they will get excellent results over the 2 weeks that they use it to whiten their teeth. The good news is it's going to deteriorate after that time, and now you're going to have given those 60 people the experience of whiter teeth, but next time they want whiter teeth, they're going to ask you if there's a more efficient way of doing that, and you're going to be able to put them in custom trays and create more revenue in your office. If we look at the total revenue generated by this particular promotion at only 1% return on your current patient base, that's $21,000. And all you spent was a few minutes to send an email and $1,200 in product costs, $20 per home edition kit. Another way to increase your business right now is to do good for your community. Here's the thing. How many of us have had a child come home from school or knock at your door and ask you to buy wrapping paper, Christmas ornaments, cheesecake, so that they can raise money for their school or maybe their church? For many of us, and for me who has 3 kids, that's happening every few months. And I'm spending $30 on cookie dough and cheesecake that I don't really need, because I want to make that child be able to go back and have some money raised, and I want to support my local community. But as a local business owner, you have a very great opportunity to give back to that local school or church. Everybody wants whiter teeth. But as I said, not everybody's willing to spend the $200 to $500 at a dentist to do it. But you know what? In the name of fundraising and desire for those teeth, pretty much anybody would go to the dentist for $59 to help out a local organization. And the good news is, all of the proceeds go to that organization. So launch yourself a community whitening campaign. It feels really good to give back, and it's profitable too. Let me show you what this looks like. Let's say your local youth group wants to fundraise for a mission trip. You've got a church of 2,000 parishioners who all get told about the fundraiser, not by you, but by the youth group, who are eagerly out there talking to their friends and family and all of the people attending that church to help us raise money for this mission trip. You offer a $59 special for teeth whitening. All proceeds go to the youth group. Now it sounds there, for many of you, that you're like, what? That means I have to give whitening to all these people for free. That's not really how it works out. Let's just say 5% of the people of that church respond. And let me tell you, when you've got some aggressive teenagers wanting to go on a mission trip, you're going to see a much higher response than 5%. But I'm not going to create any smoke and mirrors here for you. I want you to feel comfortable with the numbers that I'm giving you. So 5% of excited people respond to this program. That's 100 possible patients that come to your office, meet your team, and you set up an appointment with them to give them a free checkup. Because of course, why wouldn't you? Everybody wants to make sure their teeth are okay before they whiten them. And you send each of them home with a home edition whitening kit. No chair time except for that checkup time, which is of course your business model for creating new patients already. Now the product cost for that home edition kit, as I mentioned earlier, is $20. So you're going to have to buy 100 of them, and that's going to cost you $2,000. But you know what? That's 100 people that came into your office. And even if a third of them become patients as a result of all of your regular business strategy when you deal with a new patient when they come in your office, and how lovely your team is in taking care of them, and how great service you give them, let's say only a third of them decide to be patients of yours. That's 33 people. And with that average revenue running at about $500, that turns into $16,500 in revenue for you. And you know what? That's $5,900 that church raised. It's a lot harder to raise $5,900 in cheesecake. Now you've reached out to your community. People know where you are. You've done a good thing, so they like you. You've earned some money, and you've been able to raise money for a group of people to do more good. Number 4 is know your neighbors. Successful business owners in any industry leverage relationships. And what I mean about relationships is, one, you have some vendors, and hopefully you do business with people who do business with you. That's always a good thing to do. But also in your community, there's lots of different groups. There's local clubs. There's women's groups. There's groups of people that live in apartment communities who all get spoken to in newsletters. There's all sorts of organizations in your community that have memberships associated with them. And all of those groups like to do special things for their members. It's very simple for you to put together a special, like a new patient special that we spoke of earlier. Because you're a member of this group, we're going to offer you not just free exam and x-rays like we would do to anyone else, but we're going to offer you free whitening as well. Now, social networking means you never even have to leave the office. There's Twitter, there's blogs, and you know what? You can connect with your neighbors with something as simple as a Facebook like campaign. And I'm going to go into this in a second here. What does a Facebook like campaign look like? Well, the idea is when you hit that little like button on our Facebook page, you receive a free whitening pen. Now, many of you will know our products, and that whitening pen is something that you just brush on your teeth after you drink coffee or red wine, and it takes that stain and film away from that coffee. And if you use it often enough, it will kind of brighten up your smile and give you whiter teeth as well. So your patients click like on your Facebook page, and their friends find out that they can get this whitening pen, so they like you on your page. And then friends of their friends like you. Now, I don't know how many of you know how Facebook works, but once someone likes your page, any message that you put on your Facebook page automatically goes in their communication. They don't have to open up an email. Most of it is an alert that comes up. Maybe some of you follow your friends that way and you find out that they just ran 10 miles or got a promotion at work. You can find that out all day long. And the same thing is for you. When you put a message on your Facebook page and you have all sorts of people who have liked you, that pops up and they get to see it. So you can send any smile message that you want, and it goes viral whenever you want and as often as you want, because of that like chain that you created. Now, when your participants and your patients have liked you on Facebook, they need to collect that pen. So guess what? They need to come into your office. And again, they meet your team. They might get a checkup because they're a regular patient, and when they call and say, I want my pen, you say, well, you know, Mary, you haven't been here in 8 or 9 months. Let's let the doctor look at you while you're here. And if it's a new patient, well, of course, you're going to follow your regular new patient protocol. This product has a product cost of $7.50. Now, Facebook is pretty viral, so responses on this can be a little crazy, a lot crazy sometimes. You can get liked by 20 people in 5 minutes, but let's just assume 50 people like your Facebook page. And a lot of those people are going to be your patients because they're going to hear about the promotion in your office, and they're going to hear about it maybe because they go on your web page. But even if half of those 50 people just get a cleaning, that's $200. Well, I did times 35 people. We can change that to 25. But you're looking at $6,000 to $7,000 in revenue, and it only cost you $375 for all those pens. And the other thing about that is those pens can have labels on them that have your name, your phone number, and your website on them. And every day when I pull that out of my purse to take the coffee stain off of my teeth, guess whose name is right there in front of my face? And that brings us to number 5. Be bold about your brand. How many times have you been asked, what do you do for a living? Pretty much in every social encounter, if you meet a stranger, that's one of the first few questions that we ask each other to find out if we want to keep talking to them for a little while. How you doing? Where are you from? What do you do? So how many business cards have you handed out over the years? Hopefully your staff hands them out for you too. But how much revenue have those cards created? We think if I give this person my information and they ever need a dentist, they're going to go ahead and call me because they have my business card. But how many business cards have you collected in your lifetime? How many salespeople have given you a business card? How many doctors have given you a business card? Where are those business cards? They're buried in your wallet. They're in your office at work, in a drawer, maybe at home, in some kind of business card file. But do you remember whose business cards you have? Everybody will give you a business card. But could you even know if you had a dentist in that file? What if you could have your practice name and phone number in front of possible clients every day by their choice? That would go a long way. That's kind of like what we see with radio advertising. On your way to work, you hear all the time, the pink plumber. That's somebody in Atlanta here. And I know, as soon as I know that I need a plumber, all I'm going to think about is that pink plumber. And his message is very clear because he gives proceeds back to breast cancer awareness. But I know that song, and I've heard that name over and over and over in my drive all the time. That's very expensive advertising for that pink plumber. But the thing is, that's low-level energy that companies beg for and pay tons of money for because it's constant awareness of who you are and what your brand is. So make a bold commitment to be top of mind. Now, I'm not telling you to go out and buy a radio campaign, although some of you have done that, and it's not a bad idea. It's expensive, though. There's a way to do that with a very simple thing. Use the new bold business card, the labeled mini whitening pen. It's the same item as we were talking about in the Facebook campaign. You've got this little pen. It takes stains off the teeth, and it has your name, your office name, your phone number, and your website on it. And every day when I drink coffee, I paint that on my few front teeth. My mouth feels really refreshed. I don't have coffee stains, and I have seen your name every single day. We do this here in our company. On our mini pens, we don't have our brand name, white or image, because you usually know who we are when we're giving you one of these pens. But we do say on our pens that we are the total whitening solution for the smart dentist. And our contact name, our contact information and website is on that mini pen. And we give them out everywhere we go, all the time. And now people see me and they say, oh, you're that pen girl. Give them away everywhere you go, to everyone you meet. Any network function that you go to, any party that you go to, put your brand name in the hands of everyone you can. That's ongoing, regular advertising noise, and it's very expensive. As I said, these pens remove soda, red wine stains, and coffee. And you remove the issue of the black hole that is that person's business card file.
The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Okay, for all of you who have hung in there, I have just been told that I did not start this broadcast. And I've been going on and on here for 40 minutes. Is that correct? Does anybody have an unmute button that they can say that they haven't seen this broadcast? Nobody? Everybody left. I'm going to go ahead and keep going through my slides here. And I can set up a time that we can do this again, and I'll send out that email if you've missed my conversation. So grow your practice right now. Sell something that people want. Use your patience to sell your services. Do good in your community. Know your neighbors and be bold with your brands. And here's the best part. As I mentioned throughout the presentation, your average patient is going to represent about $500 in revenue. The most that you spend for any of our promotional products is $20 per unit. A teeth whitening incentive makes more people respond to your ad, and it drives new patients to your office. So $20 spent is $500 in revenue. 10 new patients costs you $200 and delivers $5,000 in revenue. At Whiter Image, just because you're a customer of ours, you've been assigned a personal marketing consultant. You're paired specifically with a personal marketing consultant that is an expert on how to implement these 5 strategies to grow your practices. And frankly, there's a lot more than these 5 campaigns in our library. All of these solutions are completely turnkey. You're going to receive everything that you need to be able to do this. I'm not going to have you have to imagine what to say or anything. You're going to get all of the messaging that you need. You're even going to get an appointment script for your front desk group to be able to know what to say when people call in about this campaign, and also know how to turn that person on the phone into an appointment. You're going to receive any images that you might need, and you're going to receive a tracking sheet as well. Now, all of these solutions, like I said, are completely turnkey. And the thing is, the fact that you're a customer means that they are all free. And you don't have to believe me in my 40 minutes of conversation that hopefully you heard most of. There's other dentists just like you who are out there who have either come up with their own idea and used our promotional items, or they've followed some of our strategy, and this is some of the things that they say. Also, our company here locally was just highlighted as one of the top 40 innovative companies in Georgia. And they think that we're innovative because we have this really cool product called the Chick Flick, which most of you are familiar with if you're customers of us, which also creates some serious drama. But they also think that we're innovative because of the way that we work with our clients and how it's important to us that you develop your business, not just that we develop ours. So I appreciate your time today. And as a gift for listening, hopefully you left with a little inspiration. But we're also going to go ahead and let you have a bit of a promotion today. The office is open for any of your personal marketing consultants to answer the phone. And if you would like to take even one of these initiatives, maybe it's the business card initiative, maybe it's the Facebook like pen, go ahead and give us a call. Find out how we can do that in your environment. And we're going to give you a special price break today. I appreciate your time, and I thank you very much for listening. I really do hope that you heard all of it, and if you didn't, I'm going to go ahead and email everyone of another webinar time. There was a lot of conversation around each slide, not just the information on the slide. So you can go ahead and connect with us another time, possibly Monday or Tuesday. But I appreciate your time, and if anybody has any questions at all, I would be happy to answer anything you have.
Did you unmute them? Yeah, take them off mute.
All right, if anybody is having a conversation with me, for some reason I am not hearing that. Go ahead and type a question if you have one. I am seeing questions, so I can answer those. All right, as I said, I will go ahead and set up another webinar for any of you who could not get through to the voice portion. It seems that a lot of people could only hear the slide or only see the slides, and we'll set that up for probably Monday or Tuesday at 2 different times so you can connect in again. I appreciate your time. You all have a great day. Go ahead and get yourself some new business.